resistance checklist. This is what Lebbeus Woods wrote. Resist whatever seems inevitable. Resist people who seem invincible. Resist the embrace of those who have lost. Resist the flattery of those who have won. Resist any idea that contains the word algorithm. I know certain people would be irritated by this because certain people love algorithms. Hello, Francesca, I hope you are not here. Resist the impulse to draw blob-like shapes. Resist the desire to travel to Paris in the spring. Resist the desire to move to Los Angeles anytime. Resist the idea that architecture is a building. Resist the idea that architecture can save the world. Resist the hope that you'll get that big job. Resist getting big jobs. Resist the suggestion that you can only read Derrida in French. Resist taking the path of least resistance. Resist the influence of the appealing. Resist the desire to make a design based on a piece of music. Resist the growing conviction that they are right. Resist the nagging feeling that they will win. Resist the idea that you need a client to make architecture. Resist the temptation to talk fast. Resist anyone who asks you to design only the visible part. Resist the idea that drawing by hand is passé. Resist any assertion that the work of Frederick Kistler is passé. Resist buying an automobile of any kind. I totally agree with him. Resist the impulse to open an office. Resist believing that there is an answer to every question. Resist believing that the result is the most important thing. In other words, the process is important. Resist the demand that you prove your ideas by building them. Resist people who are satisfied. Resist the idea that architects are master builders. Resist accepting honors from those you do not respect. Resist the panicky feeling that you are alone. Resist hoping that next year will be better. Resist the assertion that architecture is a service profession. Resist the foregone conclusion that they will have already won. Resist the impulse to go back to square one. Resist believing that there can be architecture without architects. Here I don't agree with him. Resist accepting your fate. Resist making, hello, Mioriza. Resist making models from chicken wire. Resist people who tell you to resist, like him, and here he is self-deprecating, and I like this. Resist the suggestion that you can do what you really want later. It's totally true. We shouldn't postpone. It's about here and now. If we don't do it now, we'll never do it. Resist any idea that contains the word interface. Resist the feeling of obligation to subscribe to Domus. Resist the idea that architecture is an investment. Resist the feeling that you must explain everything. Resist the claim that history is concerned with the past. Resist the innuendo that you must be cautious. Resist the illusion that it is complete. Resist the opinion that it was an accident. Resist the judgment that it is only valid if you can do it again. Resist believing that architecture is about designing things. Resist the implications of security. Resist writing that they wish you would write. Resist assuming that the locus of power is elsewhere. Resist believing that anyone knows what will actually happen. Resist the accusation that you have missed the point. Resist all claims on your autonomy. Resist the indifference of adversaries. Resist the ready acceptance of friends. Resist the thought that life is simple after all. Resist the belated feeling that you should seek forgiveness. Resist the desire to move to Berlin. Resist the notion that you should never compromise. Resist any thought that contains the word should. Resist the lessons of architecture that has already succeeded. Resist the idea that architecture expresses something. Resist the temptation to do it just one more time. resist the belief that architecture influences behavior, resist any idea that equates architecture and property, resist the tendency to repeat yourself, resist that feeling of utter exhaustion. That's it. I mean, he repeated himself copiously, of course, but contradiction is life, as I think Bertolt Brecht said.